I think my husband fathered his best friend's children, and now one of them is attracted to my daughter. I'm a 42-year-old woman. My husband Aparchino Luke is 43, and so is Marfu Amy. I met Luke in college, but he's known Amy since they were about 7. They did everything together and understood each other implicitly. They were best friends. They were always insisted that they are surrogate siblings to each other. Naturally, I, as a new girlfriend, felt a little threatened by Amy and her closeness to Luke, but they both reassured me I had nothing to worry about, that their bond was not romantic and had never been sexual, that Amy really was just the sister that Luke never had. I believed them, and it didn't take long for me to forget any and all insecurity I had about Amy. She became my friend too. She officiated our wedding, Luke, and I have built a wonderful life together, and we always had a strong relationship. After we got married and moved in together, we still saw a lot of Amy, and I was fine with that. I passed many a night on the town trying to help Amy find a man, as she has always lamented how she is unlucky in love. Luke and I started to have children after we were married, and at around the same point. So did Amy. Why, for further context, my children are Sophie, 15, Owen, 12, Louise, 10, and Carter, 6, asterisk Senning. Children are Tom, 17, Kaylee, 14, and twins, Adam and Twannel, 9, asterisk now. Amy was not in a relationship at this point. She was not married as far as I knew. She was mospio dating, but not consistently. As Luke and I had more kids and our family grew periodically, Amy would find herself pregnant as well. It happened a few times, and Luke and I never knew anything about the fathers in question. I kind of assumed that maybe Amy was sleeping around and not keeping in contact with her one-night stands. Luke agreed this was probably the answer. While I did ask each time if Amy knew the paternity, she always said no, and she didn't seem that worried about the idea of raising kids on her own, so I didn't pester her. Of course, she had us to support her, so there was that. While Amy never asked for any help, of course Luke was never going to let his best friend struggle to stay afloat when she had children to raise. Financially, we are very fortunate and privileged. I have a job that pays handsomely, and Luke also had wealthy parents who already knew and loved Amy, so they were happy to provide for her. My in-laws defy all stereotypes. They are the kindest and gentlest people, so we were able to support Amy, to get her somewhere to stay with her kids. People might be tempted to call her a leech, but I never saw it that way. I also know people are going to criticize her for her lack of responsibility and question why she never used more reliable birth control Ambieth. That is a long story that I don't want to get into because even I don't fully understand her reasoning, but it was quite important to her that she never be on birth control and that whatever came of that choice, she would accept. Religiously motivated, I know that, but it was that degree of significance to Amy. She really did not want to take birth control. She's explained it to me more than once, but I'm still not clear on why. Of course, Amy being Luke's best friend since they were kids, it's not unreasonable that sometimes they hang out together while I am not there. Hey, that's fine. Sometimes I hang out with Amy one-on-one as well, though Luke does it more. She was his friend first. This included him going over to where she was staying and at times sleeping over there. Was I a fool to trust him and believe nothing was going on? But for years they presented as being a musty and buddies like siblings. I didn't pick up on any stitch between them, not ever. As one can expect, our children were brought up together, not in the same house. Our home is decently sized, but even we don't have the room for 8 kids. But we made sure Amy Peck's children met ours from a young age, and they always got along and strong bonds of friendship have formed over the years, which is good. Ich harta if I write, and they share blood. I've been dawdling getting to the main point. Yes, I have come to suspect that Luke fathered at least one of Amy's kids, if not all of them, but he does spend a lot of time with Amy, and I have to confess I cannot remember seeing her with any real boyfriend over the years. She would talk to men at bars and parties. I would try to be her wingman and so on, but nothing ever seemed to really happen, so when she got pregnant the first time I was curious.